But firstly, I'd like to thank you all for coming here today. One thing that is very important about our democracy is the right to protest against decisions of this Parliament. And that right has been enshrined in our Constitution and also by our war memorial up the hill up there. There's 100,000 Australians have died in war to fight to protect that right for you to protest here today. However, the mere fact that I announced I was coming here to speak today has led to people abuse me, has led to people send me aggressive emails, has led to people protesting outside my office. But I believe it's my obligation as an elected member of the Federal Parliament to come here today to address you. Now firstly, last night up in Parliament we had a debate on wind turbines. And one thing that really disturbed me is the complete callous disregard of members of this government have for people that are having their health affected by wind turbines. A complete callous disregard. And I think Murray Harden said it best. If a farmer tells you he's sick, you better bloody believe it. The other thing was also great to see Angus Taylor here today, who'll make a great member for Hume, taking over from Albie Schwartz. What Angus said was very true. This is going to cost our community $3 billion a year by 2020 rolls around. So we should be thinking what the opportunity costs of that $3 billion are. Firstly, already this government has put our nation into massive debt. Our debt stands close to $270 billion today. By Christmas time we know it'll be close to $300 billion. To give you an idea of what that means, the interest payments alone, just the interest payments over this year and the next three, over the forward estimates period, comes to $34.5 billion. So we as a nation will have to send $34.5 billion over the next 4 years, money to pay the interest, and most of that money will go overseas. That works out for $1,500 for every man, woman and child in the nation. That's the situation that we face. And yet, we are bringing in a system that will see $3 billion cost added to our electricity bills. We need to ask at what cost. We are trying to fund a national disability insurance scheme to give more money for our kids with disabilities and our carers. We're trying to fund more money for roads, more money for our hospitals, more money for education. The list is endless. We simply cannot afford this additional burden on our electricity costs. We need to ask ourselves, what hardships will it occur? How many people will be forced, unable to turn their electricity on at night, on a cold winter's night, because their electricity bills have increased? There's a lot to do should we come to government, and clearly one of the first things we need to do is have a proper inquiry into the health effects of wind turbines. That is one thing that our coalition government has promised to do. But one thing we see about this industry, they seem to shy away from inquiries and investigations, because our history has always shown those to seek to suppress inquiries, to seek to suppress further investigations, are normally the ones with the weakest case or the most immoral case. So I can give you an assurance here today, as a member of the coalition, we will conduct a study into the health effects of wind turbines to get to the bottom. We do not want to see any Australian affected, as though we have heard many people here today. So again, thank you for coming. Please continue to use your democratic rights that our Constitution guarantees us to express your disapproval against this appalling policy. Thank you.